All right, curl reformation theory. This is going to be the last section in our hair relaxing part of perming and relaxing. So we're going to talk about everything in here. Some of the things I'm just going to sort of zoom through. Other ones we're going to spend a little bit of time on. All right. This is a service designed to change tightly curled hair to curly or wavy hair. Okay, so you still want curl, you just don't want it as curly as it is naturally. It's also known as soft curls, reformation curls, because you're reforming the hair into a new curly shape, or a double process perm. You're permanently relaxing it and then you're permanently curling it. So double process perm. So the actions: reduce the existing curl pattern, so not as curly, reform to produce a new curl pattern, and rebond to fix or neutralize the bonds and lock them into the new curl pattern. All right, history. Dr. Willie Morrow in the 70s started a company called California Curl, and it was a cold wave, so ammonium thioglycolate, to produce soft curls for tightly curled hair. Then Jerry Redding, who founded Nexus and Germac, also created the first pH balanced shampoo, also developed the Jerry curl. So this is the one, I talked about this in a previous video. The Jerry curl is the one that people know it by. Like if I say Band-Aid, I'm referring to strips that I can use for a cut, but they're known by many, many names, not just Band-Aid, but we tend to call them Band-Aids. Same thing with Kleenex. You might call Puffs, oh, go get me the Kleenex. That's the prominent brand. Jerry Curl was the prominent brand that people know this by. All right, and then in the 80s, this Comer Cottrell created an at-home curl kit. All right, so there's two basic services in this. So the cool thing is, not that this is in style right now, but when it comes back, this is a big ticket service because you are doing two services on one head of hair. So first, you're relaxing natural, untreated, or virgin hair, and then you are perming it, okay? So you are reforming it into a looser curler pattern, and then the second one that they have there is a retouch, where you're relaxing the regrowth and then you are curling the regrowth. Okay. Here's where I talked about this in a previous video, where it's really important to concentrate on this slide. You're going to see these terms on your state board exam and probably your exam you're going to be taking from lab. And if you don't have this locked in your brain, you're going to be very confused. All right, so the first process, number one, you're relaxing or reducing the natural curl pattern. You're applying a Theo-based product known as a curl rearranger. So take the word straightener or relaxer and change it into curl rearranger. We're rearranging that super tight curl into a more loose, relaxed curl. So it's, remember, we looked at this. It's that thick white. This one is very, very old. So it's yellow and it smells really nasty, but it is the thick product that you put on at first. The main ingredient again is ammonium thioglycolate, if you remember that from before. Right here, ammonium thioglycolate. This is your curl rearranger. So you're going to have to figure out some way to remember that when you say relaxer. You know, think of curl rearranger. You might want to think, well, curl rearranger has an R and an R, and relaxer starts with R's. You could think of it that way. Whatever you can do to fix that in your brain, that what they mean by that is a relaxer, okay? And you're again going to smooth the hair just like you did before on the relaxer. Then the second process is perming or reforming and rebonding the hair into new curl or wave pattern. So as soon as you're done relaxing it, but before you neutralize it, you wrap it on rods, you put the curl booster on. So we would say, oh, you put the perm solution on, but instead you're putting the curl booster on. Okay, so it's the same thing, but they're calling it something specific because of it being a two-step process. So you wrap it, you can use any perm wrapping pattern, and then you apply this. So perm solution, I mean, this is a stretch, but you could think, well, the B in booster, if you flip that over, it could be a P for perm solution. Again, some way. You might want to just learn it saying curl rearranger, relaxer, curl booster, perm solution. You know, put it all together in your brain, because you're going to definitely need to know those two terms plus one more that's going to be new and you're not going to see it anywhere else. Okay, then you rinse and apply neutralizer just like any perm. Okay, so this is everything you need for this service, because not only do you have to relax it, but you have to perm it. Okay, so your curl rearranger, your relaxer. Okay, so you're reducing the natural curl pattern. Okay, so it's a rearranger or a reducing product. Ammonium thioglycolate is the main ingredient. You cannot relax with sodium hydroxide and then perm with Theo, you'll have no hair. Okay, your curl booster and perm solution. Okay, so think of it's a mild creamy form of ammonium thioglycolate, and it allows it to be reformed, and then you apply the neutralizer. That's, thank goodness that word is the same no matter what you're doing. So you are neutralizing it. If you don't neutralize it, it's going to go back to its original shape. It has to be fixed in that new shape. Okay, rearranger, relaxer, booster, perm solution. Okay, now on this page we're going to see a new term. Okay, so it reduces the bonds. It's ammonium thioglycolate. Booster helps it assume the new shape of the perm tool. It's the perm solution. Curl activator, a third one. You will see this on the test. Okay, this is applied after every shampoo, so it helps the curl retain its shape and provides moisture. So every time you shampoo, you're just activating those curls again. Okay, and you can use an instant moisturizer also to help replace lost oils. All right, curl reformation tools. Okay, so obviously you're going to use a tail comb, you're going to use perm rods. Okay, here's your supplies like you would use in any perm, and you might use a dryer, a timer, a shampoo bowl, and a styling chair. All right, analyze. Remember, we examine the scalp, we analyze the hair. Okay, going back to that, so you're going to, what do you want to analyze? You want to analyze density, texture, porosity, and elasticity. Okay, section. Okay, so you would section into 4 or 5 sections. I would say 4 for the reformation or the relaxer. Okay, you apply it again, a virgin relaxer, a 1/2 inch to away from the scalp to a 1/2 inch from the ends or the porous ends. Apply to both sides, smooth. Then you go back and apply it to the scalp and the ends. If you're doing a retouch, you're applying it to the new growth only. Smooth. Okay, very important. It has to be smooth to stretch that hair to rearrange those bonds. Okay, they're smoothing with the back of a comb. You can use your fingers. Okay, now the hair is thoroughly rinsed but not neutralized. So you're rinsing, 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 but no neutralizer on it. You don't want to fix it into this straight position. Now you're going to wrap it. It says generally the base is 1 time the size of the rod, meaning it's the same size, and 1/2 off base, meaning you're going to pull it out 90 degrees and use picks or stabilizers as needed. All right, now apply your booster, your perm solution. Okay, it says well-experienced designers sometimes apply curl boosters section by section prior to wrapping. Okay, what they're, if I can dig through that, how they're saying that, basically you better be really fast at whatever you're doing. If you are going to apply any kind of perm solution before you wrap the hair. You better be lightning fast. Okay, I've done it on very resistant hair. I'm not sure what the idea would be behind doing it before I wrap it here, because the hair is already softened from the relaxer. Okay, neutralize exactly like a perm. All right, your guest experience. Make sure you have a thorough consultation. What is on your hair right now? List everything in the chemical service record and ask lots of questions. Okay? Combination services. So hair sculpting, getting a haircut is usually performed afterwards. Do not tint the person's hair. Wait a period of 7 to 14 days, and that's for a perm, a relaxer, this soft curl perm that we're talking about here. Any of them, the hair is going to be much happier and healthier if you give it 2 weeks before you do the other service. Okay, at-home care. Shampooing should be performed every 1 to 2 weeks. And tell them that their hair will take a day or two to bounce back and get moisture back in it after you shampoo it. And they must use moisturizing products. Okay, before you do this service, shampoo the client's hair only once and use light finger pressure. You don't want to get their head sensitive and then be putting these chemicals on them. Never perform a curl reformation service on hair that's been relaxed with your sodium hydroxide relaxer. So in other words, don't take the service that uses ammonium thioglycolate and use it on hair that has had sodium hydroxide on it. You will get irreversible damage. You might not even have hair. All right, a preliminary strand test. This is like the best thing you could ever do when you get a client that's just absolutely insisting on something and you know that it's a bad idea and you cannot convince her that it's going to ruin her hair. Whether you're doing a perm, tint, bleach, relaxer, anything, just do a strand test. And, you know, best case scenario, you're wrong and it looks great, and go ahead and do it. Otherwise, they can see for themselves what it does to their hair, and it helps you be able to convince them not to get that thing done. Now, they might still go to another shop. That's on them and that shop, but you don't want to do something that's going to harm someone's hair. All right, the guidelines. Okay, so the relaxer guidelines are the first 3 steps. You're going to section, apply your curl rearranger, which is your relaxer, and smooth. Then the perm guidelines are the last 3 steps. You're going to section and wrap, apply your curl booster, which is your perm solution, and then neutralize. All right, the 4 C's: connect, consult, create, and complete. All right, you're going to connect. You want to establish rapport and build credibility with the client, that you know what you're talking about and you understand and you're listening to them. Consult, find out what they want and need, and come up with a plan of action. Create, do the actual service, and then complete. Make sure that the client's satisfied, give them recommendations for products, express appreciation, just say thank you, and provide a follow-up with them. All right, the curl reformation preparation is overview the steps to follow before you begin. The procedure is during, and the completion is after. All right, prep. You're going to clean and disinfect your workstation, get everything together, wash your hands, do all your tests, and review their client record card if they have one. Okay, during, it's going to be everything we talked about. You are going to apply the relaxer, you're going to rinse, you're going to wrap their hair, apply perm solution, rinse, and then finally neutralize after all that. All right, and the completion, again, make sure that they're happy with it. Make sure you fill out the client record card. All right, and then you always have this available to you in your modules inside of Lab. You will see rubrics. These rubrics are awesome because you can look at that and see what exactly is being asked of you. the steps to do for whatever service that you're working on at that time. All right, check what you know. Curl reformation is a chemical service designed to change tightly curled hair to straight hair. Curl reformation is also known as reformation curls, soft curls, or a double process perm. The 3 actions involved include reduce, reform, and number 4. Today, curl reformation products have been reformulated and are often known as what kind of systems? The 2 basic curl reformation services are virgin curl reformation and what kind of curl reformation? There are 2 processes involved. During the first process, the natural curl pattern is reduced. During the second, the natural curl pattern is blank and blank. The product used to reduce or relax the natural curl pattern is what? During the reforming step, what product is applied to the hair? Number 9, the new curl pattern is rebonded or fixed into its lasting shape by applying what to the hair? And number 10, the steps performed during the reformation service are section, apply curl rearranger, smooth, section and wrap, apply curl booster, and what? Number 1 is false. You're going to change tightly curled hair to not as tightly curled hair, looser curls. Number 2, true. It's known as a double process perm, soft curls, or reformation curls. Okay, the 3 actions, you're going to reduce the original curl, reform it into new curl, and rebond. That's the neutralizer. Today, curl reformation products have been reformulated and are often known as dry curl systems. The 2 basic curl reformation services are virgin curl and retouch. Number 6, 2 processes. You reduce the curl, and during the second process, it is reformed and rebonded. That's the neutralizer. The product used to reduce or relax the natural curl pattern is your rearranger or your relaxer. During the reforming step, it's the curl booster or your perm solution. The new curl pattern is rebonded or fixed by what? By the neutralizer, the neutralizing lotion. And number 10, the steps performed during a reformation service. The last one is neutralize. Okay, just a little add-on to that video. The one question there was about a dry curl system, and I was like thinking, I'm not sure what they're talking about, but I found it in the book. It says, curl reformation products have been reformulated and often known as dry curl systems. These systems produce beautiful soft curls without the wet, oily look of earlier systems. Many dry curl systems also offer more styling versatility, giving clients the option to straighten the hair with heat as well. So that's interesting. So, they continually improve products. So that's what they're talking about a dry curl system.